I almost did not go to that event because coffee has spilled literally all over me. I'm in the break room with, all the other speakers and stuff, and everybody is supposed to start telling their story, what they do, why they're a professional. I actually went to an event, a speaking event, and it was wonderful. It was beautiful. Like, I'm so happy that I went. Like, so happy. It was an experience. I was talking to fourth graders about what it means to be successful, about my business. And when I got offered this opportunity, immediately I was like, yes, like absolutely yes. Like I jumped in with both feet. But the way that I was feeling was a little bit unqualified when I started to read the email and read the invitation, and it was just like it said something like a human service field professional, and I was like, oh well, Jonna, you're an adult. Like, this is what you do for a living, like you're a professional. It makes sense. But it's like, okay, but it's really hitting home for me that I am living my dream. I'm doing what I want to do. And like, I manifested this moment right here. Like, calling myself a motivational speaker. I wasn't going to different events to speak to the masses. Like, it was just me on my YouTube channel speaking to, like, I don't know, I had 10 followers, when I had first started off, like less than that. Like, I don't even know where the 10 followers came from. So it's like, to be at this point right now, me telling kids, fourth graders, you guys can be whatever you want growing up, and hear me being a grown up. And like, I do get a little bit emotional because it's like, 2 years ago, I didn't see myself in this position ever, me writing 2 books, me becoming a mental health counselor with no license. I met 2 great people today. And one of the people that I met, she was asking me about my profession and being a mental health counselor. And she's like, is that the same thing as a therapist? And, I'm answering her questions and stuff. She's telling me that, she has her case management certificate. And I'm just like, hold on, girl, wait a minute, because I got my case management certificate too. Okay? And I got my master's in administration. And she was talking about how she got her master's in the same. And I'm like, I need to speak to this person. You make those connections, even if it's just in passing, of God just sending messages through people by saying, you on the right track, you got this. Like, you really out here motivating people, and it's like, I look back from where I come, and I'm just like, I worked so hard to become the person that I am right now. Like, it's like, I worked so hard to become the woman that I am right now. It's like, I'm here. Like, I did it. Like, I did it. Like, I never thought to be speaking at to fourth graders, an auditorium full of fourth graders. It's like amazing. And I was telling my sister about this opportunity. And at first she was like, Jonna, she was like, just relax. She was like, you got this. Like, she was like, you lived this life of a counselor. Like, you could just, she said, just talk to them. She was like, you work with kids all day. I'm a children's ministry director at my other job. So I work with kids doing that. Even with my mental health counseling, I counsel children and adults. My youngest that I counsel is 6 years old. So it's like, to actually be walking the walk and to actually be here, like somebody that I would have looked up to a year ago. A year ago, I was struggling. Like, a year ago, I was financially struggling. I was struggling. And it's like, I'm here, you know? Like, I'm here. I'm doing it. I had that one job, you know, as a case manager for low-income families, and I told you guys the story of how I got fired from that job, and now that person who fired me is fired, you know, fast forward a year later. But it was a lot going on with her. But I'm here. It's like I was a case manager there, and now I'm a counseling support worker. Like, I counsel people, I help people, you know. It's a beautiful thing. So I was telling the kids, I'm like, y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. I was telling them about my motto: look at your success, process, and stay blessed. Like, your success is your struggle that you're going through right now. Like, your struggle is a part of your success story. That's what I was telling them. But it felt really, really good. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I almost did not go to that event because we were in the break room. I was getting my cup of coffee because I literally had rushed to this event. It was an hour away. I was super excited to be there. But I was getting my coffee at the service desk, where, you know, the welcome desk or whatever. And it was people sitting down talking and stuff. And my coffee, I spilled it all the way to the top because I'm like, I'm ready to sip this coffee, and it just spilled all over my dress. That's what my dress looks like. It was all over my dress, okay? So so I almost turned around, almost walked away. I cleaned up the floor. You know, it's just me. Like, I have no support. Like, I didn't come in with nobody, you know. Like, actually, my business coach that was supposed to be there, that provided me with this opportunity, she was recovering from being sick, so she couldn't make it. And so I'm in there, you know, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, try and meet some new people, make some friends and stuff. But like, that happens, and it was super embarrassing. Like, come on, coffee all over me. I'm like, coffee all right now? Why me? Why? That's all I kept asking myself. Why me? Why? As I'm cleaning up the coffee, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna pack it up, and I'm gonna make my way back over to my table to grab my things and to get in my car, because I'm leaving and I'm going home. Like, I was so stressed out, so embarrassed. Like, I don't know who saw or who was, you know, talking or what, but it's like, it was in front of everybody. Like, I know somebody saw, but literally nobody said anything to me. I just cleaned up the mess. It was like coffee spilled under the lady's chair and stuff, and I just, you know, said, excuse me, I'm just cleaning up the coffee. She was like, yeah, that's fine, like, go ahead. But that was it. So as I'm walking out of the conference room, someone is pulling on me, and she's like, hey, she's like, it's, you know, your time to go up. Like, you got to go sit up there with everybody. Like, you got to go, you know, like, it's almost time for you to up, showtime. So I just tell her, I'm like, my dress is soaking wet. Like, literally this whole part of my dress was like soaking wet. It was clinging to my skin. You know, my dress is pretty long, but it was clinging to myself, and I just thought that it was so noticeable. I felt like I smelled like coffee. So I told her, I'm like, I can't. And she's like, there's a bathroom right over there, and she's literally like pointing me to the bathroom. And I'm just like, I gotta go to my car, lady, the bathroom. But I paused, and I took time to listen to what she was saying. And she was like comforting me, and she's like, your dress is brown. She's like, it's hardly noticeable. She was like, you can't notice it. It goes all the way down. She's like, you can't notice your dress. She said, you know, the coffee blends in with it. She was like, you can't even tell that it's wet. She was like, I can't smell coffee on you. You're fine. I think she just wanted me to get up there and, you know, soak in the opportunity. And that's exactly what I did. Like, I soaked in that opportunity. I was so motivated. I was so inspired. Like, you guys see, you know, I told you guys before, I had 3 jobs at one point. Now I have 2. Now I'm just getting more and more clients. So I'm still doing these YouTube videos. I haven't for a while, but it's like, at some point you just got to get back on track. You got to get motivated. You got to get inspired. And it's like, even when you don't feel like doing something, or even when you feel like you're unqualified, or even if you feel like, you know, oh my gosh, I just ran in to another obstacle. Okay, because that's what that was, the coffee spilling on me. And I was a little nervous. That wasn't, you know, too big of a deal, but it's just, you run into all of these obstacles and you gotta face them. You gotta face them, you know? Like, sometimes it's enough just to show up. Sometimes that's enough. Sometimes. But the point is that I got up, I drove over an hour to see these kids, and I'm inspired. But yeah, I definitely appreciate that opportunity, because it's like, to listen to other successful people talking about how they got success, you know, talking about their businesses and stuff. It just inspired me to think, like, okay, like-minded people, like being around like-minded people who push your success, who want you to succeed, but also, you know, when you feel like you're doing it alone, or when you feel like you have all this pressure on you, I have to take a breath and I have to remember, like, you're being too hard on yourself, you know. Like, you're out here making boss moves. You're working every day. You're working. It's not like you're not being productive, you know, but I'm so hard on myself if I don't post on social media or anything. It's like, I don't do it for the pay. Like, I do this because this is my passion. It's because it's what I'm passionate about, you know. And I tried to tell the kids today, you got to find something that you're passionate. It's going to be many things that you're good at. There's going to be many things that you're good at and that you can do. But what things do you want to do? What things are passionate for you? What things get you going in the morning? What things make you dream at night? You know? At one point I was eating, I was breathing my books. I was eating, I was breathing my business, you know, making my website, staying up all night, designing my business cards, making sure I made the right connections and I kept connections with different people. Like, life is a learning experience, man. Life is a learning experience. I told the kids today, I'm like, even in adulthood, I said, as a mental health counselor, I help adults, you know, goal set, do treatment planning, because, you know, I help adults figure out, what do you want to do in the next 2 weeks? What do you want to do in the next few days? What do you want to do in the next month? What do you want to do in the next year? I help adults figure it out. So I tell the kids right now, I'm like, you'll have it all figured out. Like, you'll figure things out. Even if it's somebody that you want to talk through things and process your feelings and process what you want to do. You can do anything in this world that you put your mind to. Like, you can do it. You can manifest it. Like, you can be whatever you want. Those are the most honest words that I've ever heard. You can be anything that you want to be. Manifest what you want in your life. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. I told the kids today, man, the 4th graders, I said I figured life out when I was an adult. So if you don't have it figured out right now, it's okay. All right, talk to somebody like me. Talk to somebody that you trust, somebody in your corner to help you figure out what you want to do in life. Because let me tell you, even as an adult, it's hard. But that was what I wanted to share with you guys, a little bit about my trip today. Look at your success, process, and stay blessed, you guys.